guys, my name is Soshira. So today, I'm gonna be telling about Dr. B.R.B. Ambedkar's life story in English, of course. So before I begin this video, I want to say Happy Ambedkar Jayanti. It's one of the best days for India. Yeah, Ek Bharat, Ek Nation. So let's get started now. Happy Ambedkar Jayanti to all of you. So Dr. B.R.B. Ambedkar, and his child name was Bhimrao. He was born on the 14th of April 1891. His father's name was Ramji Sakpal, and his mother's name was Bhimabai Sakpal. His father was a military general in the British Army. At that time, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. At that time, all of the British people's children were well educated, and they ran special schools due to this purpose. That meant that Bhimrao was going to be very smart, because he was going to be he taught in a very in a private school that had very good teachers and mentors. After a few years, when his father was retired, they moved to Satya in Maharashtra. At this time, Bhimrao was enrolled in a local school. At this school, Bhimrao was forced to sit on a corner of his classroom. And since he was born as Shudras, meaning untouchable, he was not able to do anything, as people thought that he was untouchable. So at that time, Bhimrao, even if he did his homework on time, the teachers would not even look at him. They would not even ask his doubts, and they would not grade his homework. When Bhimrao asked them, "Sir, can you please grade my homework?" they would say, "No, sit down, do more homework." And Bhimrao was not allowed to drink water from the vessels used by the upper class students. Whenever he tried to, the upper class students would tell the teachers, and they would scream at him not to do that. A few years later, Bhimrao never ever lost heart, because he knew that they just were bad, and that he didn't have to care about them at all. Even whenever he tried to play with them, they would say no. And this is my favorite part, guys. At just 15 years old, in 1905, he went to Columbia University. Yes, one of the top-rated universities in the U.S. He went to the U.S. for further studies in July of 1905. Yes, you're hearing me right. Columbia University. And let me tell you an interesting fact on Columbia University. Today, it's closed. Why, you might be asking me? Look it up on yourself on Google Maps. It will say closed in New York. It's in New York, if you ask. At this time, it is only closed because this is Ambedkar Jayanti, Ambedkar's birthday. That's the reason why it's closed. Even though Ambedkar is a part of Indian Constitution and one of the greatest Indian people, even the US celebrates it. That is the power of Indians. Okay. Okay, so back to the point. He, whenever, when he reached the U.S. in Columbia University in New York, right, he graduated with flying colors, and he, and he was for the first time he was not demeaned for being a Mahar mentioned us, and he was quite happy about that, and he wished that all of India would do the same to him and would not uh, treat him like he was a bad person. In okay, so now it is 1908. He pours himself into studies and does not care about another single thing, and he gets a Master of Arts, right? And he graduates again from the university. Even after graduating the first time, he studies even more at the university and learn about more, where he learns a lot of things, a lot, not a small amount of things, but a lot amount of things. The students there really like him due to the fact that he's very smart. Even the teachers like him there because he's very smart. And he gets a doctorate in philosophy, and he practices law. So who might be sending him that scholarship? How did he went to the U.S. with 0 rupees in his bank account? Well, it's a scholarship, and it's supported by the Baroda government, by the Maharaja. So now, as he went to London, and then to study even more about politics and analytical studies. For his thesis, he says, a national dividend of India, an analytical and good study, an analytical and historical study. With the help, but the Baroda government cancelled the scholarship, and the Maharaja brought him back. So when he was brought back, the Maharaja made him his counselor, but no one would take orders from him because he was a Mahar. With the Maharaja's help, he was able to make a fortnightly newspaper called the Muknayak on January 31st of 1915. When he was 15 years old at that time in 1905, he also got married to a girl, Rambayi, who was at that time only 9 years old. Yes, 9 years old. You heard me correct. Next. So, few years passed by. He practices law even more, and while practicing law, he tries to uplift and give rights to the untouchables, but he fails. He also has a public march where he says to all of the Chudras people, my friends, we will not It's getting quite hard right now, isn't it? Okay. Here is my favorite fun part. He is able to introduce all in all of temples. He's able to introduce public water resources, temples. He's also able to open up food courts, which of course Shadras. He's even able to open up more, and he's able to, and he's again trying to uplift their rights. Right, and this time he succeeds. And now, here is coming the ending of the story, of his life story. When India gains independence, that's on August 15th when India gains independence on August 15th of 1947, he with the first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he is awarded chairman, and he makes a new drafting constitution, and makes a brand new rules. These rules are abided by his choices, and he says in these rule books, and reads it out loud to 144 million Indians. At that time, our population was very low because Indians were killed left and right. And many people were very happy and excited for this brand new thing. Hundreds of Shudras were happy. Millions of the other people and children who were born at that time and learned that Shudras are just normal human beings. And that thing, and that those brand new rules were adopted on the Indian government on November of 1949. Right. So now he lost his wife and 4 kids, but he never ever stopped working for the Indian nation. With his second wife, whose last name was also Ambedkar, they both converted to Buddhism in 1950. On December 6th of 1959, he died. This day is celebrated